GearNetwork.com.
This is a Gear Network production.
From Wherever We Decide Studios, broadcasted live on iTunes, Spreaker, and worldwide, this is the Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast with your hosts, the Crimson Cyclone himself, Cyclone Jones, and of course, the producer, Pat G. The G stands for Gangsta. And now kick back and get ready for the eargasms.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know who I am. I know who you are. We know who each other are. Is that proper English? It doesn't matter because I'm Cyclone Jones. This is the TTRP. Alongside of me, Pat G. The G stands for Gangster. Pat G, tell them what it is.
We are back on the airwaves for the podcast, TTRP, Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast, as we've been kind of away for a little bit because we've been super busy.
Always super busy.
Because a lot of shows were happening in June.
It was crazy.
June was intense for shows.
Crazy. And guess what? We're going to bring you all of that action right here on Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast. Yeah, baby.
Of course, brought to you by the Gear Network and GearShop.com, along with Amazon.
Along with Amazon.
Yes.
And GearShop.com net. Gear.us.
No, it's just gearshop.com.
Oh.
That's where they go.
Right.
And they access their Amazon account where they can buy things. And whatever they buy, we get a small percentage to cut our costs of production to make us free for the listeners and people that download everyone of our shows.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
So,
that's always a good thing.
That's what happens.
Oh. As I get a FaceTime as we're doing the podcast.
Of course.
When this certain person knows I'm doing the podcast.
This is all right. But I do have an announcement.
Yes.
We will be getting t-shirts soon.
T-shirts? Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast t-shirts?
T-shirts.
What?
Because, unfortunately, New York State finally decided to get into the modern times of the land.
Right.
And brought Uber to New York.
That is right. Uber is here.
Yes.
I think I might have to do an Uber drive.
And I've been driving for Uber for a couple of days now, and that money has become quite enough to where it's like essentially a paycheck.
Yeah.
For most people. That money is now going to be put to the side to bring t-shirts for the podcast.
How awesome would that be to call an Uber and the man, the one and only Cyclone Jones pulls up. And you get an Uber drive from Cyclone Jones himself.
I know, that would be pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, who wouldn't want that? I would love that. I would love that.
Not to mention, what happens if Cyclone Jones gets an Uber call and it's somebody from the WWE?
Exactly. I mean, that's freaking amazing right there. That's an opportunity. That right there is called luck. When opportunity meets, no, wait a minute, what is it? I can't even remember what it is. When opportunity meets, oh gosh, why can't I remember what it is now?
Luck meets opportunity?
No. Luck is opportunity meeting preparation. That's what it is.
There we go.
That's what it is.
There we go.
Completely forgot what it was. As I'm waving to somebody because they're still talking to me on FaceTime. I've now got to say who you are. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you can't see it, but of course, you hear it. I'm FaceTiming with the one and only girlfriend of Cyclone Jones.
Yes.
That's
been mentioned on the podcast numerous times.
Mentioned on the podcast before.
She's got her shout outs.
Yes.
You make a general effort every show to at least do one.
Because she wants the fame. Like she wants the fame, but she doesn't want the fame. She wants to be Mrs. Cyclone Jones, but she doesn't want to be Miss Cyclone Jones. You know what I'm saying?
How does that work?
It doesn't work. It doesn't. But anyway, we got to talk WWE.
Yes.
We got to talk. I'm hanging up with you. Bye. Love you. Bye.
Yes,
The
we
thing
gotta
is
talk
that-
WWE.
The thing is, we got to talk WWE. This week in WWE has been crazy.
And to start, I know there's something you want to talk about.
Is there?
There is.
There is?
But there's something more important than that. For the first time this past WWE during the week, the full-on coordination of sorts for the women's revolution happened.
Right.
Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night.
Okay.
Monday Night Raw,
Yep.
SmackDown Live, and NXT. All 3 shows for the first time ever were main evented by women.
Oh, wow.
Monday night ended with a 5-way gauntlet match for the number 1 contendership
Right.
for Alexa Bliss.
Right.
Tuesday night ended in the Money in the Bank women's rematch. And NXT Wednesday night ended with a last woman standing match between Asuka and Nikki Cross for the NXT Women's Championship.
Which is all amazing competitors. Every single one of these women are amazing competitors. Amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's definitely needed, you know?
Sasha Banks is now the number 1 contender for Alexa Bliss.
Which I don't agree with, but it is what it is.
I don't agree with it, but it's all right.
Yeah.
Carmella wins the Money in the Bank match.
Rightfully?
Rightfully.
Because I didn't see it yet.
Rightfully. She won rightfully. Although she did use nefarious tactics.
I mean, it's Money in the Bank.
But-
There's no rules.
This is true. There were no rules, but there were a few nefarious tactics.
Money in the Bank. There are no rules.
But there's a rhyme and reason as to that. And on the side, Carmella was not getting the reactions that the brass in the WWE may have wanted her to get.
Right.
So they're making her that cheaper heel.
Right.
And then Asuka and Nikki Cross, holy mother of God, they just went balls to the wall, straight out, beat the living crap out of each other. And now it seems like you actually have 2 people set in NXT that have taken Asuka to the limit to finally end that undefeated streak, longest title reign ever.
So you think a triple threat is on the way?
I don't know if a triple threat is on the way, but
I'm calling it right now. Triple
it's
threat
a
on
possibility.
the way. Triple threat on the way. Asuka, Nikki Cross, Amber Moon. On the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Amber Moon wins it.
Now, flipping gears for WWE,
Okay.
the WWE had their lovely talk show segment, MizTV. And as much as I love The Miz, and I do, I'm going to admit, The Miz is freaking phenomenal in the role he is in right now.
Well, The Miz has always been. You know what? As much as you can hate or like The Miz has always been awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, even though he's called it out so many times, even before The Miz is The Miz now, my daughter liked The Miz before she even knew. Because The Miz is that guy. He really is.
He is.
He
Well,
really
The Miz
is.
had his segment, MizTV, with the newly drafted number 2 pick of the Los Angeles Lakers, Lonzo Ball, along with his dad, LeVar Ball, and his younger brother, LaMelo Ball,
Right.
as on the show. Now, before this started, I said this is going to be a train wreck.
I mean,
Plain and simple.
Of course it was going to be a train wreck. It's an automatic. Whenever you bring on a celebrity who has not been in the business of
I don't even consider them celebrities. I just consider them...
I take that back. I take that back. Not celebrity. I take that because they're not celebrities. Whenever you have an athlete put into the role of entertainer and entertaining, they don't know how to act in front of a camera.
Absolutely.
They don't. I mean, they're not trained for that.
No.
You know, I mean, they can handle real life situations because it's real life. But when they're in front of a camera for entertaining purposes, they don't know how to act.
That has a certain way of how things have to go and how to be.
They don't know how to act. Henceforth, when Mr. Bell got into the ring and took his shirt off and started to bounce around as if he was going to fight The Miz with his karate style.
Yes.
His youngest son decided to say, whoop that ass. There was no bleep there. I've stopped myself from saying it. Whoop that N-word's ass. On live television.
Yep. Live TV.
Now let's revert back in the days to the 90s. It was the 90s, right? No, 2000. Was it 90s, 2000? It was 2000s. Early 2000s. Was it?
If you're referring to the
yes, I am
referring to the situation at hand of WCW.
Was that WCW? No. I'm talking about when Vince did it. That's the one I'm referring to.
Oh, I thought you were referring to the other one.
No. That one was pure WCW days. Let's go back even further. Let's go back to WCW and Booker T.
Yes.
Because that brings on the Vince McMahon.
That does.
Booker T was caught up in the moment, was caught up in his promo.
About Hulk Hogan. He
got caught up in his Harlem Heat promo.
Yes.
And the real Booker T came out.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it happens. It seriously happens, especially when you get passionate about your promo.
Yeah.
And that's what Booker T was doing. You know, he got passionate in front of the camera. And
it just happened.
He dropped the N-bomb.
Yeah.
and Scary Sherry's behind him looking
and it was the actual the N-bomb.
Yes, it was. And the thing is, if you don't know what we're talking about, please go on YouTube, the fabulous YouTube, and check out Booker T.
Hulk Hogan promo. That's all.
Yeah, Booker T. Hulk Hogan promo. That's all you gotta check.
That's all you need to look at.
You'll pull it up. It's Mean Gene Okerlund, Stevie Ray,
Sherry and Booker T.
Sherry and Booker T. Can't miss it. It's an amazing promo. Fast forward to the think tank of WWE.
Yes.
And they want to not reenact it, but they want to pay homage to it, and joke around with it, which is understandable. You know, it's already on television now. You know, the N-word, Nigga, is already on TV. You know,
TV,
Dave
music,
Chappelle,
movies,
Dave Chappelle, TV, movie, all over the place. It's on public TV now or paid cable TV.
Yes,
so people can say it because it anyway doesn't make a difference. I don't agree with it, but
there. On a side note, there's a comic, Steve Bryan. He's an Irish Asian comedian, and one of his first live shows, he was talking about racism, and he's like, and he talks about, and he's got this bit about, he's like, whatever, he's like, I found a loophole. He's like, he's like, I'm just gonna call him the N-word, and he made it sound like he was saying and I was like, he's like, it's like, did you just, no, I said N apostrophe word. And it was just like, that's not how that works.
You're losing me, Patchy.
Sorry. Randomness.
You're losing me, Patchy.
I'll have to show you.
You gotta show me. You are a horrible joke teller.
I am.
It's okay though.
Story. Yeah.
It's okay though.
That's why I have you.
Some stories you can tell. That one, no.
Also for future reference, anytime I'm in the car with the IndyCar Mafia again, I'm going to find the Facebook video with the two black guys and the white guy, where he's like, and the guy's like asking him about where his money is.
I think I saw that.
And that,
it's like
and
a
the black,
skit?
Yeah, it's a skit.
I saw that.
I'm just gonna have that's gonna be my my protection from now on.
Yeah. So back to WWE and Vince McMahon.
Yes.
You know, they wanted to pay homage to the Booker T thing.
Of course.
So he's walking through backstage. He talks to, who does he talk to? John Cena. He talks to a bunch of people. He talks to a couple of people. A couple of Caucasian wrestlers.
Yes.
And he says, "What's up, my nigga?"
Yeah.
You know, "What's up, my nigga?" And he gets to Booker T. And he says it to Booker T.
And Booker T, in his classic Booker T, tell me you did not just say that.
He said it to his wife. His wife was there. You know, so... And that's where we come to this post now, where his son just automatically bursts out.
Grabs the microphone.
He had the microphone in his hand already.
Yeah.
Because his dad gave it to the oldest son, and the oldest son gave it to the youngest son. Because he didn't want to talk.
No. Because he's the number 2 draft pick in the NBA. He ain't gonna run. He ain't gonna say anything that's gonna risk him getting in trouble.
I just don't understand how you have no self-control on national television
for a major company like the WWE.
Major company. So
and then on top of that, like,
however, go ahead.
Within the hour.
Yep.
After it had happened, or maybe after Raw, the WWE issued the statement.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
I didn't even.
The WWE issued the statement that they apologized for what happened. They not condone the actions of the Ball family.
It's awesome.
It's a scripted entertainment show.
Yeah.
It was not that was unscripted. There was nothing they could do.
Right. That's awesome.
They went the PR route.
That's awesome. But my thing is, I blame WWE. And the reason why I blame WWE is because when you, just like we talked before we got in the show, when you put an untrained athlete who is not used to live television for entertaining purposes.
Not to mention his youngest is a 17-year-old kid.
Plus he's a 17-year-old kid. He don't know. He's stupid. He literally is stupid. All 17-year-olds are stupid. I don't care who you are. I was stupid at 17. Pat G's still stupid now, as you see. Anyway, but no, nothing, Pat G? Nothing? All right, anyway. But I blame WWE for putting them in that position to do that, I mean, it is what it is. It's done. You know what? I do blame the WWE, but you know what? Then again, I don't blame them. I blame the dad.
I blame the family itself, because the thing is us being in the wrestling business, and you've been backstage at major company shows,
right?
And you see how things are done, and how certain people will go over certain things numerous times and make sure everybody has it.
Right.
Okay? There is no way that the WWE production agents, production, everything, I'm pretty sure they went over everything. This is the segment. This is how the segment's going. And this is what we want from the segment.
Yeah.
Okay? I think it was just a situation where LeVar Ball was doing what LeVar Ball does, and his son took it upon himself to, hey, I have a live microphone. Let's make story so my family can get even more attention.
I don't think it was that.
Or it was just him being a stupid 17-year-old kid.
I honestly believe it was him being a stupid 17-year-old kid, getting caught up in the moment on live TV in front of all these people, his dad acting a fool, and he want to blur it out. And it's typical in the hood. Don't get it twisted. Not that Jim about to take you on a ride here. Okay. In the hood, when it's like that, you in your moment, it's like boom, 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 boom. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. Once you get in that frame of mind and you get that adrenaline pumping, you like, yo, what's good? I mean, that's what happens. It just happens that way.
Like the few times I've seen Angry Cyclone.
Exactly. And that's what it is. At that point in time, he was all excited. His dad was hyping it up. Mm-hmm. He's in the WWE ring with larger-than-life superstars. Yeah. And he got caught up. Whoop that nigga ass. Nah, dude. You don't...
You done messed up.
You done messed up now. Now you're looking like the word that you just used, because you're ignorant to the fact that you used it on live television.
Yes.
And
what's bad is the WWE made the statement. Mm-hmm. You haven't heard anything from them.
Of course not. You wouldn't. You won't. Because they didn't feel as though they did anything wrong.
Okay.
They didn't. I mean, that's how they feel. So it is what it is. Well, anyway, enough of that.
It's one of them things where from here on out, you may not see the WWE associate themselves with.
They shouldn't do it in the first place.
No, they shouldn't.
I mean, that's my personal opinion. If you do it, then you do it from a professional standpoint. Don't put them in a promo. Don't put them in
a segment.
Don't do it. Give them a professional standpoint. Give them the whole managerial position.
Yeah.
If you want a celebrity to come on, don't ever put them in the ring to say
similar to the sense of Hugh Jackman and Seth Green.
Exactly. Something like that.
We're like, granted,
general manager.
Seth Green ended up in a wrestling match, but he was in. But you got to see who he was in the match with.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Don't give them mic time where they're in a segment where the fans aren't going to be even close to even looking at it. They're going to look at it as a popcorn break.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's exactly what I saw it as. The only reason why I watched it was because I heard he dropped the N-word, and I'm like, yo, I want to check it out now.
Yeah.
Because you ignorant. But anyway, enough said. Great Balls of Fire this Sunday coming up.
Yes.
Also, we got to talk about, we're going to, WWE talk, we haven't talked in so long. I called the Money in the Bank.
You did.
I called it.
Baron Corbin, you did.
I called it.
You did.
I knew it was his time. Just wanted to throw that out there.
It's just a matter of when he cashes in.
I can tell you that one.
What?
I won't tell you right now, though. But it's not anytime soon.
Great Balls of Fire this Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And the big one, Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar got choked out Monday. Did you see that?
He did.
He turned red.
You know what? The fan in me wants them to put the title on Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Because, oh my God, Samoa Joe is the WWE champion.
Mm-hmm.
Would be holy crap.
Right.
But I know from various reports and everything, it's only supposed to be a one-off deal.
Mm-hmm.
The way that they've been building this is Samoa Joe's going in, he's whipping ass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is going to be a fight. This is going to be a straight up fight, and I'm going to enjoy this because Samoa Joe is no punk.
No.
Samoa Joe is not a punk. Brock Lesnar is not a punk by any means.
No.
So this is going to be a straight up fight. This is going to be this is going to be what Goldberg and Brock Lesnar should have been.
Oh, absolutely.
This is going to be a fight, and I'm going to enjoy this match.
This is going to be that. This is easily going to be the WWE UFC crossover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you have Samoa Joe, who has all that background in Muay Thai and all them other fighting styles, and then you have Lesnar with the amateur, the UFC, and then the WWE work as well.
Yep. So this is going to be a great fight. Also, just signed, as we just saw, because we're watching Raw right now.
Yes.
As we're recording on a Monday, talking about last Monday.
It works.
It works. Big Cass and Enzo Amore. Now, as soon as you saw it, Padgett, you immediately was like, that should be a 3-minute squash.
It should. Cass is 7 feet tall.
That is the way of looking at it from an odd man out, or not odd man out, but a realist's point of view.
Yeah.
However, from a psychology point of view, Big Cass is going to take pity on him.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's going to whoop his ass throughout the whole entire match. And then Enzo Amore is going to start whooping his ass and come out with just something that's going to just come out. I don't think he's going to win. I honestly believe
he's going to fire back.
He's going to fire back big. They're going to give him something big.
Also, I'd like to say that I love the fact that Braun Strowman's back.
I like the fact that Braun Strowman is a face now. Even though he's not a face.
Yeah, he's a face, even though he's not a face.
Even though he's not a face, he is a face.
But then again, it's the same. But then you could say the same thing as the man he's going after in Roman Reigns.
No.
Roman Reigns, they want him to be a face, but he's not a face.
No. See, that's completely different than what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Roman Reigns is disliked, but they want him to be a face.
Okay. Where
Braun Strowman is clearly a heel, but everybody's cheering for him.
Yes.
Clearly a heel. Everybody's cheering for him.
Absolutely.
So I mean, it's completely different. They want him to be a face, but yet they hate him, and he's still trying and just won't. He just won't do anything to get over, or even just embrace his evil side.
Well, someone that is over, Shinsuke Nakamura.
You got to say it right. You can't say it that way. Don't even try.
No.
I don't want you to embarrass yourself.
This is why I said it. This is why I have you. This is why I have you. Made a appearance at the Fan Fest for Impact.
Side note, Robbie Vegas, did you know that Shinsuke Nakamura is dating redhead
Becky Lynch? Unacceptable!
It's rumored. I saw a picture of them together. It is rumored. I believe it, though.
You know it's Shinsuke Nakamura.
It's Shinsuke Nakamura.
Robbie Vegas, I'm sorry. You have no chance. Madness a Trip. You definitely have no chance.
You have no chance.
Nobody has a chance if it's Nakamura.
If it's Shinsuke
well, it's all right.
Nakamura.
I'll settle for Alexa Bliss.
No, you won't. Anyway, we're not even going there with that one. I don't want to get myself in trouble.
Hey, listen, you
shut up. Continue your comment.
I can talk about it.
Continue your comment. What were you saying?
Anyway, he was at the Global Force TNA Impact.
Was it?
Fan Fest,
is this how we transition
before the weekend?
Is this how we transition into Impact Global Force?
Yes,
cool
because there was
a picture.
There was a picture of Nakamura with the two Japanese guys that were working the tag match, I believe, along with the guy from Canada that teaches everybody.
As you tap on the board, knowing that the microphone picks it up.
Who was the Team Canada leader?
Lance Storm?
No, not least in TNA with Eric Young and Bobby Roode.
That Tyson Dukes, he was a part of it. I can't remember.
The big heavyset dude. I can't remember his name.
I can't remember now. Oh my gosh. You have a computer in front of you. Why are you not? What are you doing?
I'm bringing it up for a minute because I feel horrible.
So you're going to have us just sit here and wait for you?
No, I'm still talking. But he had a picture. Scott D'Amore.
Scott D'Amore.
Yes.
Go ahead.
He had a picture with Scott D'Amore and that. And somebody, the internet trolls had a field day with it.
Right. Of course.
They're like, oh, he's going to get in trouble. Because the last time somebody from WWE was at a TNA event, they got fired and all this other stuff. And I'm like, listen, it wasn't a TNA event. It was like a fan fest. And Scott D'Amore, who's a agent, booker, writer for Global Force Wrestling, was there. And Nakamura was taking a picture with two guys that he's probably been friends with for years.
Right.
I'm like, everybody needs to stop it. Because on top of that, they were all flipping out because reportedly Paige was there on WWE, who's still contracted by the WWE.
She was there.
Was there ringside wearing a mask.
She sure was.
Wearing a mask. And everybody knew because
everybody knew
come on.
it.
At that point, you might as well not even put on the lucha mask. You're just everybody knows you're with Alberto Del Rio.
Everybody knows y'all not breaking up.
Yeah. So whatever. I'm like, she was there supporting the guy that she is in a relationship with.
Yes.
Regardless of business relationships.
Which is hilarious because the mask, you know it was you.
Yeah. The mask didn't hide anything.
Paige, if you're listening to this, you knew it was you.
Not to mention the picture that was taken had the visitor pass with her real name.
Yeah. That's amazingly funny.
Which, speaking of Slammiversary, I did not watch the whole show. I saw parts of it. Mm-hmm. D'Angelo Williams.
Yeah.
Dude can make he was good.
Yeah.
He had one or two spots that were botched or messed up. Mm-hmm. But the athleticism, it looked like he took it seriously.
Okay.
He took it legit and did well.
Okay.
The show overall,
yes.
It was good, but there were moments of overbooking.
Why would you say overbooking?
The women's match
Okay.
And they use the pre-tape segments, like when Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy were there for the Broken gimmick.
Right.
For the Scott Steiner, Josh Matthews versus Joseph Park and Borash match. The pre-tape segments where Father James Mitchell made an appearance and brought back Abyss.
Wow.
Which was really cool. But between that match and then match after, like, it was they should have split it up because both matches had hardcore aspects.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have the all-out brawl in the tag match, and then you do another tag match, which was the Full Metal Mayhem. And both matches had thumbtacks and...
See.
It was like similarity.
Yeah.
But they did pretty much unify all the championships.
Okay.
Alberto El Patron is now the Global Force Wrestling Champion.
Which I knew was going to happen. It was time to take it off of
EC3 is now the number one contender, which I love because I love EC3 as a heel.
Yeah.
Sienna defeated Rosemary.
Can we just talk about that for a second? WWE completely dropped the ball on EC3. I honestly believe that.
Absolutely.
Because you gave him one of the dumbest gimmicks. What was it, Derek Bateman?
Yeah, Derek Bateman.
Gave him Derek Bateman, and it was just stupid. And then you see him doing EC3, and EC3 is amazing.
EC3, as a face, was good.
Yep.
EC3 as a heel, great.
Listen, listen, it's great. It's great wrestling. But
I'm hoping now that they're completely away from the TNA stigma, and now TNA Total Non-Sat Action is dead, done, finished, never coming back.
That's what you hope.
That's what you would hope. It seems like they have a working relationship with a lot of promotions in Mexico, CMLL, AAA, and that, where they can get guys that people know of down in Mexico. Like last night they had Drago and one of the other guys that usually work Lucha Underground.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a working agreement with Lucha Underground. They have a working agreement with the other Mexican promotions that own the rights to the people that work at Lucha Underground. They own the rights to the character name and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of the things of knowing Jeff Jarrett and the way Jeff Jarrett is.
Hey, we interviewed him.
We did.
On the podcast.
On the podcast.
Yeah.
When he was just starting Global Force Wrestling.
Yeah. I think we got to get another interview.
Definitely.
All right. I'll work on it.
But it's one of the things of, I'm hoping within the next 6 months to a year, they're at a point where TNA was back in 2006, 2008, where it was really, really good.
Yeah.
And everything was working.
Mm-hmm.
And with the people that he has in position now, I think it can happen. Himself, Scott D'Amore, Bruce Pritchard, guys that have been around the business for decades.
That's what you like to think. That's what looks good on paper. Hopefully,
absolutely.
Egos don't get in the way, or self
promotion.
Yeah, going into business for yourself.
Yeah,
gets in the way, because that's where the nonsense starts.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, hopefully Jeff Jarrett can keep the nonsense out of it. Because when TNA first started, it was amazing.
Oh, yeah. When they were doing them, like, weekly Wednesday night shows.
Yeah. Like, TNA, when it first started, was amazing. Then it got syndicated, and
it got stupid a little bit, and then...
Yeah. And then he sold it.
That 2006 to 2009 period was really good.
Yeah.
And then that's when Dixie Carter and Panda Energy took over and brought in Hogan and Bischoff and...
Yeah.
All these guys that were name value that were cost them probably more money than they should have been spending.
Exactly.
And it just dive bombed.
It was crazy. But I mean, hopefully it works out Like, I've always loved TNA, Impact, now Global Force Wrestling. You know,
I'm hoping
I just want to see them do well.
I'm hoping that in a year from now they'll be off of Pop TV and they might be somewhere where it's a bigger name.
USA Network.
The USA Network? I don't think that'll ever happen. They might end up back. I know there's a couple of channels that like are interested in wrestling. They just don't want to invest it right now because the WWE, especially because this segues just a little bit into Eric Bischoff stating that 2 to 3 years from now, the WWE is going to be streaming Raw and SmackDown on the network.
I don't think so. There's no real advertisement for that.
He did say that that's a lot of TV revenue to walk away from, but he feels at that point the WWE network will be well enough off to be self-sustaining.
Nope. I'm going to deny. We need a deny sound.
A deny button?
Yeah, we need a deny button.
I'll have to find something and put it in for you.
You won't. Anyway, but yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. That's too much TV revenue, too much, advertisements, everything. You just can't. No, you're not going to be able to do it. I really don't think so. The streaming is going to be, no, I don't think it's going to happen. But let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk about some more wrestling. We'll do some indie wrestling.
There's a lot of indie wrestling.
Yeah, so we'll talk some more. Sit back, relax. Stay with us for another half hour or so. I love you guys. I know you love me. I heard you already said it. Talk to you later, guys.
Said it. You sure about that? Positive?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cyclone Jones, and I am with Pat G. The G stands for gangster. And remember, the TTRP is sponsored by the Gear Network store through Amazon. If you visit shopgear.com, it's a little bit different. That's shop. GERE.com and click on any of the banners. It will take you right to your account and you can do all your Amazon shopping there.
And you shop Amazon and Amazon Prime as you normally would. But the only difference is Amazon kicks back a small percentage of all your purchases to us here at the Gear Network so we can cover our production costs to continue bringing great programming like TTRP, Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast, Better Live Than Dead, Get Ready America, and Talking Wrestling, among more, here from the Gear Network. So that's shopgear.com, SHOPGERE.com.
Hello, Sanjay. What are you doing? I am using my Gear Network app on my mobile device, my friend. Oh, Gear Network app. What is that? Well, do you listen to Get Ready America? No. Do you listen to Better Life Than Dead? No. Do you listen to Misguided Musings? I do not know. Well, my friend, they are very good shows and they are on this network. You can download the app by visiting gearnetwork.mobapp.at and download it on your Android device and save it to your home screen on your Apple device. What is Android? That is an operating system. What is Apple? That is another operating system. Oh, but I cannot eat that operating apple? No, you cannot eat that operating apple. However, you can go onto the Gear Network app and shop on the Amazon and have Apple delivered to you. Oh, that is wonderful. Gear Network app. Hooray!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. TTRP, Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast. Cyclone Jones, Pat G. The G stands for gangster. And we're talking indie wrestling.
Yes, loads and loads of indie wrestling as the Southern Tier was invaded by STW at the Chautauqua County Fair.
Wouldn't that be kind of redundant? That the Southern Tier was invaded by Southern Tier Wrestling.
That's why I said it.
But that's kind of just redundant, though.
Well, it works.
You think it does? Dominate, does it work? It does. You gonna agree with Pat G? My daughter agrees with Pat G instead.
I got one.
With me.
I got one.
Yeah. Well, I don't like her anyway, so that's the main one I'm gonna fight. So it doesn't make a difference.
You fight all your kids.
No, I don't. Just this one. This one I fight.
I've seen you argue and fight with your son numerous times, Cyclone.
That's different. That's my son. That's different. Right, Janelle? Right, Janelle? Can you not try and kiss me right now? My kids are invading the podcast right now, everybody.
When don't your kids invade the podcast?
They don't invade the podcast. And she just walks away. Doesn't even say anything.
It's the podcast.
Whatever. So let's talk Southern Tier Wrestling as they invade the Southern Tier.
Yes. Listen,
Pat
it'll
G,
make people laugh. I can guarantee it.
I swear, Pat G.
It made you laugh.
Well, it was a good show. I was actually on the show.
You are.
I went down there just to, for journalistic
reasons.
Journalistic reasons. Thank you, Pat G.
Did you network and get people's information that we could bring onto the podcast?
I did not. I should have spoke to Snitsky. But I didn't have. I should have done an interview with Snitsky, but I didn't have a recorder. So what I'm
you had your phone.
I did. I don't like using my phone though. I don't like using something, even though it is an iPhone. So I mean, it's got an awesome microphone and camera.
What?
So I could have.
Why didn't you do an interview on the Facebook Live then?
I should have. Wow. I didn't even think about that. Holy Toledo.
This is why I'm the producer.
Holy Toledo.
This is why you're the voice and I'm the producer.
That's what I should have done. I should have did an interview on Facebook Live with Snitsky. Wow. Anyway, so I was at the show.
Yes.
I got offered to be a part of the show, which was amazing.
That's always a good time.
I mean, it was at a fair.
I saw you and Chris West had reignited your interactions.
Yes, we did. I don't like Chris West. He doesn't like me, Well, so we definitely fight whenever we see each other. But the first match up was Bill Collier and Asylum for the STW Heavyweight Championship. I know, first match out the gate, right?
Wait.
That's how you start a show off. That's how you start a show off.
Your heavyweight championship. Okay.
Your heavyweight championship, the very first match.
That works.
Bill Collier did retain. Second match after that was a Rumble.
New number one contender? Or just a...
I don't think it was a number one contender match. It was a Rumble to it was an invitational.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. I couldn't get...
Can I introduce people to possible future STW talent?
Exactly. The Kaiju Chris West was there, Professor Wessler, Daniel Garcia, Mako the Shark.
Wait for it.
Eric Rosencroft.
Wait for it.
Dewey.
Wait for it.
Chris Worthless.
Wait for it.
Cyclone Jones himself.
There it is.
I'm telling you. I mean, so it was a great match. It actually came down to Cyclone Jones, Kaiju Chris West, and Mako the Shark.
Please tell me Mako the Shark won. Because if Mako the Shark beat Kaiju Chris West,
that would two animals. It did. You know what? They did put me out, which kind of pissed me off.
It's a shark. It's a shark, and we all know sharks come out of cyclones.
That would be Sharknado.
Yes.
Yeah. It was a shark and a Godzilla beast.
Yes.
Versus a cyclone, and I got booted out. However, Kaiju Chris West did win.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, Kaiju Chris West did win. After that, we had a lot of great matches. Rob Sweet and Robbie Vegas. Rob Sweet picked up the win. Mm-hmm. Robbie Vegas gave a good effort. It's his debut at STW. Cool. Kevin Bennett, Terrell Kenneth. Great match.
Terrell Kenneth.
Terrell Kenneth and Kevin Bennett.
Yeah, that's like...
Yes.
That's two very different styles there.
Yeah. Gene Snitsky was there.
Very awesome.
Snitsky was there. He went up in a handicap match against Kevin Blackwood and Caesar. Of course, Snitsky whooped their little asses.
Oh, I'm sure.
As
much as I love Caesar, I know a lot of people hate have a distinct hatred for one Kevin Blackwood.
Yeah, I mean, he's an arrogant wrestler. You know, he gets in the ring and he knows he's going to whoop your ass. And most times he doesn't. So I mean, a lot of people don't like Kevin Blackwood because he's that good.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, hey, it works.
It does.
The main event, however, was the Home Wreckers versus the Divine Intervention for the STW Tag Team Championships in a lumberjack match.
Oh boy.
Yeah, crazy. It was all over the place. It was a great match.
Did the Home Wreckers finally achieve their win over the Divine Alliance?
The Home Wreckers finally won against the Tag Team Champions, Divine Alliance. I said Divine Intervention, didn't I?
You did. You almost did.
Okay, Divine Alliance. And now they are the new STW Tag Team Champions.
Very cool, very cool. The Home Wreckers collecting gold. All these tag teams from Western New York collecting gold in other promotions.
They are. So right now the Home Wreckers are tag team champions in STW and in IWF.
Yes.
And
well, no, not IWF. The Buffalo Club is the tag team champion.
Right, the Buffalo Club, yes.
In IWF. I believe the Home Wreckers are not in IWF any longer.
No.
They are the PWR tag team
PWR champions as well, yes. Okay. So that's it for STW. I mean, like I said, it was a great show. I was honored to be offered, to wrestle there and honored to be in the Rumble. It's a great time.
And I believe you're invited back for the next show.
I am invited back for the next show. The next show, ladies and gentlemen, Wednesday, July 25th, Dunkirk Fairgrounds, the fair show, STW Invades. Now, there's been a lot of controversy over this show.
So much. And that's Tuesday, July 25th.
Tuesday, July 25th. Or was it Wednesday the 26th? It's one of them.
One of the days.
I think it's Tuesday.
One of the days.
I'm pretty sure it's Tuesday. Let me just see. I don't even know. Don't even worry about it. It's one of the days.
One of the days.
It's Wednesday, actually, the 26th.
Okay, the 26th.
However, dude, it's...
There is a lot of controversy.
There's controversy behind the show.
With this show, because for the longest time,
there was another company.
The Dunkirk Fair Show was entertained and homed.
Was entertained, yeah.
By Maximum Force Wrestling.
Yes.
MFW, along with Warpath, yourself.
I was a part of that roster.
Robbie Vegas.
Yep.
And a lot of other Western New York talent.
Collier was there as well.
Bill Collier was there, heavyweight champion.
I mean, it's the Bruiser Schmidt. A lot of great guys at MFW.
Oh, definitely.
Great locker room.
The Dunkirk Fair Committee.
Yes.
Powers that be at Dunkirk decided to end their relationship with Maximum Force Wrestling.
Yes. And let's just make this clear one more time. Say that one more time, Patsy.
They decided to end the relationship that they've had with Maximum Force Wrestling.
Who did it?
The people powers that be at the Dunkirk Fairgrounds.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that was clear.
Yes.
Because STW had no bearings or no underhanded tactics to obtain this show. This was clearly done by the Dunkirk committee.
The run that Dunkirk Fair.
Just want to throw that out there.
Because I will say this. I had a small dealing with people that run a fair.
Mm-hmm.
With basically my home fed LPW in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
The Sandusky County Fair came to LPW one show.
Mm-hmm.
Talked to the powers that be at LPW, and I was part of that. I was kind of within that meeting a little bit.
Okay.
That introduction and so on. And trust me, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of thought process for people who run a county fair.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of thought process. They want the best possible entertainment that's going to bring the most amount of people.
But they also want to save money as well.
Well.
They want the best product
At the best cost.
that's going to bring the most people at the best cost.
Yes.
Now, I'm not saying that MFW wasn't able to do that.
No, not at all. I've attended MFW shows at the Dunkirk Fair.
Hell, I participated.
You've participated. They bring people.
They do. However, they may have been a little high for the Dunkirk committee.
Yeah.
So they outreached somewhere else. It's business.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's business. It's nothing personal. This isn't the days of the territories.
No.
Where now you want to flatten tires and fight and cut people. It is what it is. This is just the standpoint that I stand on of saying better your business.
Yep.
That's what I stand on. I've always said that. I've said it previously in other podcasts. I've said it on the shows, when the radio shows. I've said it all the time.
Yeah.
Better your business, and this situation wouldn't happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Now I'm going to shoot a little bit.
Okay.
Really quickly. Give me 2 minutes to shoot.
Yep.
I was a part of the MFW booking committee. At least I thought I was. I thought I was a part of the MFW.
You were led to believe.
I was led to believe that I was a part of the MFW Collaborative Brain Trust.
Yeah.
I was not. Because I thought that I was able to give a good outlook on how the wrestling should be.
Yes.
What should happen, storylines, things like that. My opinion was not even
considered,
not even asked.
Taken into thought.
Not even asked. I was completely thrown to the side.
Okay.
And now comes the time where I sit back and I watch, and now I see MFW struggle. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not shooting negatively.
No.
Like I said, just like when I talked about the old company I used to work for and started with, OSPW, I wasn't going to say their name, but I am. It doesn't make a difference. When I talked about OSPW and I shot from the hip, I spit straight facts. In business, same thing with MFW. You had two people, me, or Robbie Vegas and myself, that were trying to help you better your business, yet you did not want the help. You only wanted yes men.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's your problem. You felt as though because you were Vince McMahon, you were able to bring wrestling back to where it was, to where wrestling should be in your mind. Mm-hmm. However, your mind is not a wrestling mind. I'm sorry. I got to shoot from the hip.
This is, and what's funny as to this whole Dunkirk Fair situation is when you look at the roster of Southern Tier Wrestling,
right?
You go, I know that guy, this guy, that guy. But wait a minute, that guy, this guy, that worked here. Mm-hmm. And this is the thing, and I said it when I found out, when you told me that the situation had happened. I said, well, they played the business aspect right. Mm-hmm. Because all the guys that they have on the show for this one, for STW, were very similar guys that worked the fair in Dunkirk the previous year for the other company.
Right.
So not only are you going to get all the fans that you've been building for your shows over the last year, you're going to get all the people that were going to the Dunkirk Fair shows for MFW going, hey, I know Cyclone Jones. I know Robbie Vegas. I know Bill Collier. I like those guys. I'm going to go to the show.
Yep.
It was, and this is the thing, business. The independent wrestling today is not what it was 10 years ago. It wasn't what it was 20 years ago, where everybody's different territories, so on and so forth.
Yeah, no.
Everybody works everywhere, in some way, some form, and faction.
The independent wrestler contractor type of mentality is
a entrepreneur business
business
sense
what it is now.
For themselves.
You know. So with that being said, and we're going to get off this topic because we still got two more things. We got a little bit of time left.
Yeah.
It's something where it's business. You can't be mad at business. If you didn't do business right, then it's your fault.
You can't be mad that someone else.
You can't be mad
that powers that be decided to take their business elsewhere to someone else that was going to do business with them.
Exactly. You can't be mad at somebody else doing business with somebody else because they did it right. You still doing business the same way you're doing business, and you don't change or conform because you feel as though you're getting over. That person's going to see it. That person's going to see it and then change and then leave you in the past. Plain and simple.
Absolutely.
Plain and simple. All right. So now, LPW.
Yes.
Ohio. We got to
Fremont, Ohio. The Fight for Fremont outdoor show shutting down the city.
Shut down the whole street.
400 plus people.
Awesome. Outside
in the awesome weather that was Fremont, Ohio.
Yeah, it was. We did have a couple of matches, great matches. I did have a match with Trip.
You did. Last man standing match. And Trip brought his lackeys.
He brought a new lackey with him, though.
He brought his original lackey, Luke Saker.
He did.
And brought a new lackey, the Reverend Arlo Price.
Yeah.
Some fire breather guy.
Fire freaking breather, man.
Yes.
Cheating. That's cheating. I mean, it is what it is. It's a last man standing match, you know. However, long story short, I did lose.
You did.
He did, you know.
His lackeys distractions.
Yep.
Led to you getting locked in a
endgame,
and you went nighty night.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It happens.
Oh yeah.
You know. Next matchup after I lost, or next match we're going to talk about was the Nate Matson.
There was a build-up.
Yeah.
Nate Matson was the first recipient of the LPW Excellent Award.
Okay.
And Nate Matson came out and was doing what Nate Matson does and runs his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "There is no one walking on God's green earth that could beat him."
Mm-hmm.
And this brought out...
Did he say walking on 2 feet on God's green earth?
Something like that.
That would have been awesome. Okay, that would have been awesome.
Something to that extent.
Okay.
And this brought out the one-legged warrior, Zach Gowen.
WWE.
Former WWE superstar. Former contestant on American Ninja Warrior.
Oh, wow.
And came out and had a hell of a match. But unfortunately, Nate Matson picked up the victory.
Yeah.
Using his nefarious tactics, but still won nonetheless. Zach Gowen entertained the crowd. The following matchup that we're going to talk about has been building over the last couple of months.
Right.
These two teams met in the LPW Tag Team Tournament. And at that point in time, these two teams were the two most over teams in LPW. The Dirty of Brandon Edwards and Austin Mannix.
Those are my boys.
And the IndyCard Mafia of Thomas Brewington and Eric Eminon.
Those are my boys.
Now, both teams have valets, managers. Sydney Swan with the Dirty.
Giggity.
Mirage with the ICM.
Hi, Mirage.
And during that match in the tournament, the ladies got fisticuffs.
Yep.
And boy, did the crowd want it.
Yes, they did.
They wanted it so bad. But the gentlemen were not going to allow it until people showed them the money.
Right, of course not.
Well, the money was shown. This led to a six-person mixed tag match. And before the match even started, fireworks abroad.
Mm-hmm.
The Dirty's music hits. And out walks Eric Eminon, Thomas Brewington, and Mirage. And Eric Eminon pretty much went on a tirade about how the ICM does not get respect from the LPW management, from the LPW fans, from the city of Fremont, and everything. They went on a tirade. Well, this led to the Dirty coming out. They had a match, and the ICM pretty much using underhanded smart tactics, which the ICM does.
Right.
Took out the dirty. Got the attention of one Sydney Swan. Sydney Swan swung at Eric Amanon, missed. And Mirage rolls her up, pulls the tights, 1, 2, 3. Not only did the ICM, IndyCar Mafia, deny Fremont, Ohio, and the fans of LPW what they wanted, the girls to go at it. Because the girls mixed it a little bit, but it was mostly just rolling around. No punches thrown or anything. But they picked up the victory using dirty tactics.
Of course.
So it looks like that finally the ICM is now that team that, hey, you want to cheer for us, but you don't want to respect us?
Well, you will.
Well, you're going to, because as Eric Amanon said, that night, the fight for Fremont was the official start of the takeover for the ICM. So it looks like the ICM is going to look to add to their multiple tag team championships and obtain the LPW titles. Don't know when, don't know where, but it might happen.
But the takeover may take over something of a takeover.
Something
that didn't make any sense, did it, everybody?
I don't know.
Nope.
And then finally, the main event.
Yep.
The match everybody had come to see. The ladder match for the LPW Heavyweight Championship.
LPW Heavyweight Championship of the world.
The Big Bear Benjamin Boone defending his championship against number one contender Tim Horner Jr. And this was a hell of a match. Tim Horner Jr. almost didn't win it, though. He almost won it. But one Superman lover decided to stick his nose into Tim Horner's business once again.
Unbelievable.
But Tim Horner had some backup this time.
Yeah?
He had an insurance policy known as the Dirty.
The Dirty.
The Dirty pretty much took out Superman lover, softened up Ben Boone a little bit, got rid of Superman lover, and Tim Horner Jr. with his coast to coast from the top of the ladder put Ben Boone out, sets the ladder up, climbs, and retrieves the LPW Heavyweight Championship.
Awesome.
In the city of Fremont, the city he is from. The crowd went bananas. Lost their mind, loud, cheering, everything.
That is awesome.
Alcoholic beverages were obtained and had by the new LPW Heavyweight Championship and champion, along with the tag team champions. And it was a celebration all night long in Fremont. But speaking of LPW,
yes,
I had a conversation with the man you want to punch in the face, one JC Money.
Yeah.
And JC Money has, from what I've been told and understand, he's reached out to the powers that be at LPW.
Well, listen.
To possibly negotiate the match, which I quoted, he will put you down and frog splash you 1, 2, 3.
Listen, if he wants to actually get in contact with the powers that be of LPW and make an attempt to wrestle at said location, by all means, I'm open, I'm willing, I'm ready.
Well, he said you promised your due diligence.
Yeah.
To make sure this match happens somewhere.
Yep.
So,
and it's due diligence.
Yes.
You said due diligence.
Okay, I reversed it.
You flipped them around.
Flipped them.
There's too many things in here about to laugh at you about, but it's okay. You're still Pat G. I mean, if we didn't laugh at you, Pat G, you wouldn't be Pat G.
This is true.
Yeah. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen,
that's our show.
That is our show.
It is.
Yeah.
So, do your little outro that you do.
Yeah. You know what? Speaking of the little outro, did you guys listen to the last show? Pat G tried to do my damn outro.
You told me I could.
I did not.
You did.
I said find something that you would do, Pat G.
No.
I did not say do my outro.
You said you could do the cyclone.
And then, I said that, but then I stopped it, and I said, wait a minute. Don't do it, because that's my thing. I said, you come up with something else of yours.
Well.
It's exactly what I said before you left.
You know what? I stole it one time, all right? Just like I stole your old intro the one time.
All right, so we're about to get out of here.
Yes.
You want to do the outro with me?
I was going to play the game.
I know, but you want to do the outro with me? You got to say Cyclones. Ready? Like I said, when you get ready to punch somebody.
Play the game.
I know you do, but you got to say it with me, okay?
I just want to play the game.
Can you just say it with me, please? If you play the game as soon as you say it.
Why?
Because, you ready?
I don't want to do it.
You got to do it with me.
I don't want to.
Why not?
Because.
You got people listening. The fans are listening right now.
But I don't want to.
Oh, my goodness. Dominic, come here. Come on, Dominic. We got to end the show. Fans are waiting for us to end the show, and they're just waiting. I want to get one of my kids on. Cyclone. Like you get ready to punch somebody like I do it. Oh, my gosh. Never mind. Ladies and gentlemen, I tried to get my kids on the show, but they're kids. So, we out of here.
Video games.
I said it anyway.
You got to come over here and say it.
I said it.
Anyway, you got to come over here and say it.
I already said it.
Well, get out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. Pat G, the G stands for gangster. Cyclone Jones, I'm out of here. Cyclone!
Hey, Don, how's it going?
Living the dream. I'm actually just getting ready to do this commercial.
Oh, you mean the commercial where I tell our listeners to tune into Gear Network every week to listen to our show, Get Ready America? That one?
Yeah, John, that's the one.
They can also listen to us talk about news, sports, whatever's on our minds, that.
And a little of what's on our listeners' minds, but they're just too nice to say it.
Well, that, Dawn, is a real humdinger. Come join us this and every week for Get Ready America exclusively on the Gear Radio Network.
And the Gear Network app.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I am Ryan Wolf.
It's Mr. Perez.
And I have a question for you, Perez.
What's your question?
Do you like to listen to people talk about sports?
No. Of course I like sports and listening to people talk about sports.
Well, guess what? I have the perfect solution for you.
Solution for me?
There's a podcast on this very network.
This network?
Every single week you can hear it.
Really?
New content, latest and breaking news. We talk about baseball, football, hockey, basketball, soccer, UFC, whatever you want to talk about.
So sports in general.
They talk about sports in general. You got it.
I like it.
You know the dictionary.
I like it.
Very proud of you.
Thank you.
I must say, tune in. We are better live than dead.
You're not.
Every single week. You're not going to want to miss it. Exclusively here on the Gear Radio Network.
Hey, Turnbuckle Talk Radio fans, this is John Cimino, a.k.a. JC Money for all of you wrestling fans out there that know my voice and know who I am and who I be. I'm the CEO of Gear Radio Network, and you just listened to episode 29 of Turnbuckle Talk Radio, and I got news for you. Big Wednesday continues here on Gear. We have episode 30 airing momentarily, but first, I want to let you know about IWF Battle Bowl. That's right, ESW Entertainment presents IWF's Battle Bowl. It is this Saturday, July 22nd, from the Folletti Ice Arena, 22 Evans Street in Batavia. For tickets, go to IWFProWrestling.store.nvy.com to get tickets, or reach out and touch somebody by way of Facebook messaging. One of the wrestlers of the IWF should be able to hook you up with a ticket there, or 2, or 3, or 4. Hey, there's going to be plenty of seats there, and it is going to be great. Pre-sale tickets are $20 for the front row, and those are very, very limited. They're going quickly, and $15 for general admission. At the door, $18 general admission. The matches to be determined. I can tell you one, though, that I know off the top of my hand. Former WWE Tag Team and Cruiserweight Champion Paul London makes his IWF debut against the Remix, my man, Kevin Bennett. Also, special guest appearance by WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas, former TNA and Global Force Wrestling superstar Cody Deaner, Holly Hilton, Caitlin Diamond, your champion Mark House will be there, the IndyCar Mafia will be there, Gavin Glass, Jordan Falco, among many, many others. So go ahead, again, listen to episode 30 here, enjoy it, get pumped, get ready, and then July 22nd, head over to Batavia, New York, the Folletti Ice Arena for the International Wrestling Federation's Battle Bowl. And now, Turnbuckle Talk Radio, episode 30.
GearNetwork.com.
This is a Gear Network production.
From wherever we decide studios, broadcasted live on iTunes, Spreaker, and worldwide, this is the Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast with your hosts, the Crimson Cyclone himself, Cyclone Jones, and of course, the producer, Pat G. The G stands for gangsta. And now kick back and get ready for the eargasms.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you know who I am. I know who you are. We know who each other are. This is Cyclone Jones. Alongside Pat G, the G stands for gangster. This is the Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast. TTRP, back in the building again. Pat G, tell them what it is.
Yes, it's a brand new edition of the TTRP brought to you by Amazon, Gear Network, and of course, GearShop.com.
GearShop.com.
That's all I got. That's all you got? Well, Amazon Prime Day happened.
It did.
It did, and
I seen JC Money whoring out the company.
Oh, absolutely, you
whoring out the company.
You have to. And from the numbers, a lot of people went to the GearShop.com.
So that means
there's a lot of percentage of money.
So he pimped it out.
Yes,
the people are the prostitutes that spent the money.
Yes.
And he reaped the rewards by doing nothing.
Well, the whole company is reaping the rewards.
That's true. We are too, right?
Yeah. Since we're part of the Gear Network.
Got you. Okay.
So yeah, all the people that went on Amazon during Amazon Prime Day and bought all this stuff, we're reaping the rewards.
Not a problem. I understand. JC Money continue to whore out the company. I like that.
You like that? So anyway, we had some independent action happening here in Buffalo, New York this past weekend, and you, Cyclone Jones, was involved.
Are we talking about the wrestling scene?
Well, we usually start off with the independent wrestling action.
We do?
We do.
Alrighty then. Nickel City Wrestling, back at the Matthew Glad Post, packed house. It truly was. So if anybody out there thinks that it wasn't a packed house, F you. It was a packed house.
Well, I only defend
what I know to be true.
I will say this, from the picture that was posted on Facebook, from the angle, it looks like a legit packed house in the Matthew Glad post.
It legit was a packed house. From the picture that's there from Nickel City Wrestling page, there is still another row that's not being shown from the back area right there.
I can imagine.
Near the commentating table.
Yeah.
It was a packed house.
It does not seem like there was any empty seats.
Yeah, fun time.
But Nickel City Wrestling Rising Dawn saw a four-way match between LJ Green, Nasty Nick Nice,
the Dead-Eye Jedi, Nasty Nick Nice,
Johnny Cadillac,
love
Johnny Cadillac,
Johnny Cadillac,
and JC Perez,
the new guy.
Yes,
who has made some strides at Ultimate Wrestling. He cut his teeth at Ultimate Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Great match there.
Got a little bit. Got some more experience with Victory 1.
Yep.
And now making his rounds to Nickel City,
making his debut at Nickel City Wrestling. It was a great match. The beginning of the match was kind of weird because we noticed that Nasty Nick Nice stormed out of the match, cussing and screaming and swearing.
Not happy.
Not happy at all.
Obviously. Not sure why.
They did not know why. He just legit left. And
dum.
That was it. They continued the match as a three-way. It was a four-way, but turned into a three-way.
Well, JC Perez, in his debut, picking up the victory.
Yeah, in his debut, also picking up the victory. That's crazy.
That's huge. Two guys that have been around the local scene for a while and working out at GA.
Right.
Grapplers Anonymous. Wes Adams took on Nick Merrick.
I call him Two-Face.
Two-Face because of the beard?
Because of the beard.
Because of the beard?
The beard is awesome.
Wes Adams picking up the victory against Nick Merrick.
Yeah. I mean, that was by. Oh, see, I flipped. You know what? It's funny because typically you have something to say when you know the matches are going on. You don't even know how the match happened.
No, so that's why I paused.
Yeah,
and I'm feeding you. I'm like doing this like introduction.
That's
getting
what
to that
it
point,
is.
stopping and going. Here you go.
Got you. Podcast. That what is that? Is that communications? What is that?
Communication,
chemistry. The podcasting 101.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Because you weren't there. You're like, here we go. I read this and then feed. Oh, that's good. Patchy, you're freaking amazing. All right, let's do that again, Patchy.
Well, Wes Adams picking up the victory against Nick Merrick. Two gentlemen that have been around the scene for a while, working out at GA.
Yes.
And you call Wes Adams Two-Face because of the amazing, like, different colored beard he's got going on.
He does. And you know what? Wes Adams picked up the victory over Nick Merrick by dastardly deeds.
Nefarious tactics?
Nefarious tactics. Nefarious.
Yes, nefarious
tactics. Mikey Everynight has aligned himself with Wes Adams. These two gentlemen have fur coats that they come out in, which is amazing. I love it. They come out with fur coats, and they are just the prime definition
of "we're better than you,"
of ego. Yeah. And you can just see it all over them.
Of course.
Sunglasses,
fur coats
coming out strutting like they know what the hell they're doing. But I mean, apparently they do because they're picking up wins.
Well, speaking of Mikey Everynight,
yes,
he has a disagreement feud.
No, it's not a disagreement anymore.
Oh,
it's a blown out I hate you feud.
With another person that's been working out at GA.
Yep.
Daniel Garcia, and they finally came to blows once again.
For the last time.
This
was the last time. So Daniel Garcia needed to pick up a victory.
And he did. He got his much needed victory against a much more experienced Mikey Everynight.
He did. He let his youth be his guide. And I say that.
That was a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, he let his young stature, not lead him, but be his strength. Instead of his young mind. Mm-hmm. He brought all the pieces together and formed Voltron, defender of the wrestling ring.
Well, that's always a solid thing to do, especially against someone of the caliber of Mikey Everynight.
Yeah. So that was a great match. Venomous and Bruce Davis, they advertised and challenged each other to a tables match.
Why?
I don't know why.
Well, no, you know what? I'm not even going to ask why. It's Venomous. Venomous for the longest time has just had this obsession with tables matches.
Venomous is just a gimmick guy.
Yeah.
Joe is just a gimmick. Oh, Joe, Venomous. Did I do that again? I did.
Yeah.
I did. Kayfabe's killed. Joe's Venomous.
I think at this point everybody knows.
Just the chill.
The
chill, Padgy.
Yep.
Just the chill.
Absolutely.
Get it? So this match was very weird to me because during the match, Bruce Davis rolled out of the ring, set a table up.
Mm-hmm.
Venomous came from behind, clubbed him in the back,
mm-hmm.
and Bruce Davis fell through the table. Now, as a referee, Padgy, I need you to put on your stripes, because usually you have on your shirt and tie, your ring announce.
Yes.
Usually behind the scenes you produce. Yes. I need you to put your referee shirt on right now.
Okay.
All right, are you putting it on?
Yeah.
All right.
Totally.
Not a problem. So, with your referee shirt on right now, because I just watched you put it on,
mm-hmm.
if Venomous clubbed Bruce Davis behind the back, and Bruce Davis fell through the table, is that match over?
No, because he didn't put him through a table.
Why didn't he? He hit him. He forcefully hit him. You're a fucked up referee. Now you got me swearing already. Put the X plate Put the exploitation mark on there. I tried JC Money. He didn't fucking even. Yes, he fucking put him through the table. If he clubbed him in the back.
Oh. Okay.
And
it's been a while since I've had the stripes on.
I see that. Take them off. Don't fucking wear them anymore. If someone is hit from your opponent in the back and you fall into a table,
the match is over.
The match is over.
Done.
You lost. However, they continued to keep going. I don't understand. I don't know why. The fans were confused.
I guess they just mass confusion.
I guess they didn't hit enough spots that they wanted to do. I guess they had other things they wanted to do
or that
out
wasn't
there.
The proper finish.
I'm killing kayfabe and don't even give a damn. But they completely continued to go after Bruce Davis fell through a table forcefully by Venomous. The match should have been over. However, they kept going.
And then, if you want to make a variable, what is that?
Comparison?
Comparison. John Cena and Sheamus from a couple of years ago, their tables match when Cena, Sheamus just shoved Cena off the second rope, and Cena went through a table.
And he went through the table.
Done. Match over.
Done. Match over. You went through the table, Cena, and Sheamus pushed you. I touched you, and you went into the table. That is
over.
That is the match.
Bell rings.
So that's that. I mean, Venomous won anyway. So Bruce went through a table twice.
That's horrible.
I guess. But the running joke was it was the best 2 out of 3 tables landed.
Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus. Oh,
it was the best 2 out of 3.
The best 2 out of it was a 2 out of 3 tables match.
The next match is a very, very one that's near and dear to my heart because some dastardly deeds happened.
What is it with the nefarious tactics?
No, this wasn't nefarious. This was just dastardly.
Oh, dastardly.
Yeah, this is different.
Okay.
Nefarious is a villain type of, dastardly is something that's like, yo, why did that happen,
Oh, okay.
25 to Life defeated Angel Down and Old City Outlaws to become the 2-time Nickel City Wrestling Tag Team Champions.
So, Elmo and JD. Robbie Vegas and Xavier Jones.
Correct.
And
Papa Terry Cadillac and Psycho Jack.
Jack Hansen.
Yes.
Okay.
However,
what were the dastardly deeds?
Angel Down had the match won. Completely.
Mm-hmm.
Angel Down had the match in their hands to become the tag team champions. Mad Dog Xavier Jones picks up Elmo to go for the tag team finish move.
Yep.
As he has him up in a a cradle-like hold.
Yeah.
Holding him up like the heart, what's the move?
So basically like a belly-to-back suplex.
Nope, belly-to-belly.
Still set up for like the heart attack.
Thank you. He's got him set up for the heart attack. Robbie Vegas hits the ropes, stops, and walks in front of Xavier Jones and super kicks him in the face. Super kicked his own partner in the face and walked off. Left his partner there.
Wait. Robbie Vegas super kicked
Xavier
Jones.
Mad Dog Jones in the face.
No explanation. They were all over Facebook claiming that they were going to gain these titles to match them with the other sets of titles they have.
The current MFW Tag Team Champions.
Yes.
The current Ultimate Wrestling Tag Team Champions. Going to be the new Nickel City Wrestling Tag Team Champions. And he kicks him in the face. Now, I don't know what that's going to do for their other tag team title runs where they are.
Mm-hmm.
However, these two fighting right now in Nickel City is going to be a match you don't want to see. I mean, you don't want to forget. You don't want to miss.
Oh, absolutely.
Robbie Vegas is the speed of the team. Xavier Jones is the power of the team.
Absolutely.
These two have lost their way. And I think they need to hash it out. But that's what's going to happen next show. That's what's going to happen next show. Mad Dog Xavier Jones versus Robbie freaking Vegas.
What is Robbie Vegas and his tag team partners?
Listen, I don't know, man.
One just ups and disappears.
I don't know.
Another, he decides to kick another one in the face.
Actually, he didn't disappear. He was at the show yesterday.
Really?
Yes, really.
Interesting.
Funny, right?
Interesting.
Next match was Rob Sweet versus Dewey. This match ended with nefarious tactics. The show sounds nefarious.
There's a lot of nefarious and dastardly going on.
Well, Rob Sweet, this match ended very quickly.
Yeah.
Because Rob Sweet kicked Dewey in the ding-ding.
Oh!
Right in front of the referee.
Oh, boy.
Completely kicked him right in the ding-ding.
Rob Sweet, ever since his last man standing match with Terrell Kenneth, has gone on a very physical, violent streak.
Listen, Rob Sweet is a jackass. I hate him. He's a jerk. His wrestling style is he's got that short power style. Like he wants to hurt you quickly because he knows that if he goes any longer with you, you may get the upper hand on him.
Absolutely.
So you definitely want to put him away quickly. But he's a jerk. He's a complete jerk. Him being this bad guy, when he was the fan favorite, he was a cool dude.
But now that he's
not the fan favorite,
he's a jackass.
He's a pissant. I want to smack his little ass. He just can't swing that low. Short joke. But this match ended with Rob Sweet kicking him in the ding-ding. Then come to find out that Dewey had a large cut over his head.
Ooh, ouch.
So it was crazy. Paramedics, were involved.
Of course.
But Dewey's okay now. But I think that match is going to get a rematch because he kicked him right in the ding-ding, right in front of the referee.
Bam.
Just bam, ding-ding shot.
That's horrible. Well, next match was you, Mr. Cyclone Jones, taking on the resident psychopath, Tommy Mandrake.
Yeah. Was
this for your aforementioned trophy that you have that you're holding on to for your championship shot?
I don't know. It wasn't announced as that.
Okay, so this was just a match then.
I believe that it was for it, though. I believe when I signed the contract, it was for the trophy.
So the first time you lost the trophy.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to find out.
I'm going to have to find out.
It does not say anything.
You may have to talk to the powers that be. But we'll find out what's going on with that. But I did lose. Mandrake did put up a hell of a fight. In the end, he beat me up. He didn't beat me up. That's far by none. He defeated me with a schoolboy roll-up. I tried to go for my spinning cyclone.
Your cyclone bomb?
No, I did hit the cyclone bomb on his ass.
You did hit the cyclone bomb?
I did hit the cyclone bomb. I tried to go for my cyclone punch. He ducked it.
And
he hit the ropes. I grabbed him and put him up on my shoulders to go for the F5.
Engines kind of slipped down and
slipped down, and roll. Got the pin. And
are you sure you didn't grab your tights?
He didn't. And that's why I shook his hand at the end of the match. Okay. He didn't cheat. Which is a good thing. I definitely respect that. Match of the night goes to David Evans and Rob Cook.
Really?
Sorry.
Did not surprise them.
Gotta call a spade a spade.
I'm very shocked at this.
That's just what I.
But then again, David Evans, now that he's on his own, has been making strides.
Yeah,
and has been putting on phenomenal matches.
Yeah, he has. And
of course, you put him against such a veteran like Rob Cook. That's a formula for an awesome match right there.
Oh yeah. Well, this match was amazing. It was funny as well. Rob Cook actually was wrestling, and they started to play John Cena's music during the match.
Okay.
So Rob Cook started to power up and Hulk up like Cena, and got his Cena's moves off.
Oh wow!
Yep. Tried to pin David Evans. Did not pin him.
Did not work.
After the music stopped, Hulk Hogan's music started to play.
Oh.
Rob Sweet starts to Hulk up again. Yeah. Hits him with the brother finger. punch and hits him with the big leg drop.
Big leg
Goes
drop.
for the pin. 1, 2, kick out.
Oh, wow.
As the music was playing, kicked out. It was a great
Rob
match.
Cook going all 5 moves of doom.
Yeah. Rob Cook got on top on the second rope. Got ready to hit him with the code breaker from the second rope. As he jumped, David Evans got up off the ground and hit him with a beautiful, and I mean beautiful, RKO out of nowhere.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Out of nowhere.
Hey, you said match of the night.
Match of the night.
All right. Well, your main event, and from what I understood, the main event was going to be a 3-way.
Yes.
It was the heavyweight champion, the Latin Soldier, defending his championship against Chris West, and Shadowcat, because Shadowcat decided to involve himself the month previous and cause nonsense over nonsense by hitting both of them, and causing a no contest.
Yep.
But this turned into a tag match.
It did. The way that it occurred is that Shadowcat came out spewing off some "I'm gonna whoop your butts because I never quit, I'm still breathing." Got in the ring and met with a Latin thug and a monster.
Yes.
So Shadowcat, being the little guy that he is, not taking anything away from Shadowcat, please understand.
Yeah.
However, you going up against a Latin thug and a monster.
Yeah.
A beast of unproportioned power.
Oh, absolutely. And size.
And you actually think you're going to win. So they stomped a mud hole in him, literally. Literally.
Oh, well, I would believe so.
And as the music starts to hit, you hear thunder and lightning and organs playing. Shadowcat's still getting his ass whooped, though.
Of course.
They're not stopping because they hear music. All of a sudden, out comes Deacon, the son of Thunder, Shadowcat's old partner.
To save the day?
To save the day like Mighty Mouse. Do you know that theme song? You're probably too young.
I know this.
Do you know the Mighty Mouse theme song? If you sing the Mighty Mouse theme song right now, I will give you $20.
I know it's Here I Come to Save the Day.
Okay.
I remember that. Else? I can't remember anything else.
No, but
I remember watching the cartoon Mighty Mouse.
Doesn't count. But yes, he came out to save the day, got in the ring, and it turned into a tag match. With Deacon and Shadowcat, the newly formed Sons of Thunder, the Fallen. That's what they are. They're Fallen. Defeating the taking on.
Taking on,
yeah,
and then defeating.
Taking on and then
the thrown together tag team of the Latin Soldier and Chris West.
That's usually how it happens. They fight first and then there's a winner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I was just checking.
Yes.
So the Fallen has reunited, and it feels so good. Reunited. Do you know that song?
I do know that song.
Can you sing it?
No. Okay. Not as talented as you are on the musical singing spectrum.
But they formed, they became a tag team, and Chris West made it his point to make sure that the Latin Soldier knows he doesn't care about this match. Well, he just cares about the NCW Heavyweight Championship.
Of course, because
that's how he
the
lost.
man keeps getting screwed out of the championship.
Yeah. So, with that being said, I mean, Kaiju Chris West is a beast.
And as you've said, don't trust a monster.
Don't trust a monster. I wouldn't trust a monster.
No, not at all.
But my main thing is I want to know what's going to happen with the heavyweight division.
Yes.
Because now we know Chris West is looking for a title shot. Another one.
And a fair one in that sense.
Yeah. We know that with the win of Tommy Mandrake, unfortunately, I have to give him his due.
Mm-hmm.
Where does he go with the
silver linings?
With the new and upcoming middle class or middleweight class division?
Yes.
That's something that is starting to form. And,
It is.
And I think that a title will become present soon.
Well, that's very awesome.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have the tag team division with the new tag team champions, 25 to Life.
Yeah.
Robbie Vegas and Xavier Jones at each other's throats.
As we sit here and talk about wrestling, I do have to throw a curveball in here. I just been informed that George Romano, the man that has directed, the man that has brought us the Night of the Living Dead, has died at the age of 77.
You didn't see that earlier
I did
today?
not. I did not. My CNN just informed me.
Your CNN just informed
My
you
CNN
now.
just informed me now. As you see news now, CNN.
Well, your CNN's like a lot of hours behind.
It's an iPhone. Listen, if it was Google phone, it'd probably shut the hell up. Let's talk wrestling.
Well, you're the one that decided
I did throw a
curveball.
I did throw a curveball. And you see how horrible of a curveball I am? That's why I don't play baseball.
Exactly. Well, Nickel City will be back at the Matthew Glad Post September 2nd.
Yeah.
Labor Day weekend. We will find out what happens between Robbie Vegas and Xavier Jones.
Which we know that match will happen.
We'll find out what happens with...
we will find out if there will be a rematch between Dewey and Rob Sweet.
And, of course, we'll see if Kaiju Chris West finally gets his championship opportunity on the up and up for a change.
Yeah, so stay tuned to the Nickel City Wrestling Facebook page and check that stuff out. Check out some promos and things like that, and we'll definitely see what goes on after that.
So, now, before we head into break.
Okay.
Really quick.
Is this your soapbox?
No, this is not my soapbox.
Because Patsy has a soapbox today, ladies and gentlemen.
I do have a soapbox today. You know what? Maybe it actually will be, because my soapbox isn't that big today, but still.
That's what she said.
Haha, you're funny. The internet and professional wrestling. And everybody knows everything pretty much nowadays because of the internet.
Right.
I've got to a point where I'm tired of it because there's things going on now that will be seen in a couple of weeks. And there's already spoilers on the internet about what has happened.
And that's the thing, though. You have to keep yourself away from the internet.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's just getting to the point where stuff like this that's special, which the main thing I'm talking about is the Mae Young Classic.
Right.
Which that's going to be brought up in the next segment as there was something else that was brought up during that event.
I don't even care about the Mae Young Classic.
Why?
Other than Mia Yim.
Well,
or Mia Yum, as I say.
Well, there's a lot of talented females on this thing, but this is the thing is with the way WWE has been presenting women's wrestling, it's one of them things where it's kind of a very cool thing that they're doing. And for people to be like, oh, this is what happened for the first round and second round. Yes, I know you have to avoid it, but still, it's kind of hard to avoid because you may avoid it,
right,
and make all due diligence to avoid it,
right,
but your friends may not, and then they want to tell you about it, and you're just like,
that's when you start smacking the hell out of your friends. You just have to.
You just have to.
Curiosity killed the cat. And because your friend is the cat that was curious, you kill the cat.
You kill the cat?
That's the way the motto goes. You didn't know how that works?
I didn't know how that works. I do know the motto.
Yeah.
So that's the advice of the day by Cyclone Jones.
Yes. Your friend is the cat, and if they were curious, you kill them. Go to break.
All right. Well, on that note, stay tuned. Listen to some plugs here on the Gear Network. TTRP Turnbuckle.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cyclone Jones, and I am with Pat G. The G stands for gangster. And remember, the TTRP is sponsored by the Gear Network store through Amazon. If you visit shopgear.com, it's a little bit different. That's shop, GERE.com, and click on any of the banners. It will take you right to your account, and you can do all your Amazon shopping there.
And you shop Amazon and Amazon Prime as you normally would. But the only difference is Amazon kicks back a small percentage of all your purchases to us here at the Gear Network, so we can cover our production costs to continue bringing great programming like TTRP, Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast, Better Live Than Dead, Get Ready America, and Talking Wrestling, among more, here from the Gear Network. So that's shopgear.com. SHOPGERE.com.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening to this podcast. If you're looking to support this podcast and this network, visit shopgear.com. That's shopgere.com. It will take you right to amazon.com, to your Amazon account, and you can do all of your Amazon shopping. The difference is using our link versus going to Amazon's link is that you are telling Amazon that Gear Network referred you, and they end up giving us a small percentage of your purchase, which helps out this program and this network entirely. And of course, if Amazon's not your thing, it's understandable. On gearnetwork.com, GERE network.com, if you click on the top bar that says donate to Gear, there's several different PayPal buttons. You can donate to us as well if Amazon isn't your thing. Your support is vital to helping the Gear Network maintain this programming, this quality programming, and continuing our growth through the year. As always, thank you very much for your support and your listens and your downloads and your likes and your shares from all of us here at the Gear Radio Network. IndyCard Media is your one-stop shop for quality designs at a quality price. They offer merchandising, company branding, event posters, custom clothing designs, and so much more. Check out their gallery of past designs by visiting facebook.com/IndyCard Media and tell them what you think. That's IndyCard Media, 337-446-4331 or IndyCardMafia@gmail.com. Tell them that we sent you. Again, 337-446-4331. IndyCard Media. Bring your designs to life.
Welcome back. TTRP, Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast. Cyclone Jones, Pat G. G stands for gangster. That's how I'm doing the entrance now. That's monotone, one voice.
Not high octane awesomeness like you do at the beginning.
No more extensions or expirations or explanations, exclamations, nothing.
What do you write to censor?
Anticlimactic. I can't do that. That burns my soul doing something like that. Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sure it does.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Still hating JC Money.
When don't you hate JC Money?
Are there any days that end in T?
No.
Then every day.
JC Money is going to have to become dictator of the world and make one of the days to end in T, just to make you not hate him.
Yep. Back to the Mae Young Classic.
Yes. Well, the Mae Young Classic was performed over the last couple of days. Will debut on the WWE Network in August, the first and second round. But one of the updates coming from the tournament is the first two nights of the tournament were completed this past Friday night. And there's reports stating that a lot of people in the WWE were unhappy with the tournament. The notes say that these people believe that WWE women all have to be hot.
Nope.
You gotta take it for what it's worth, take it with a grain of salt, whatever. But this report claims the people who expressed this belief thought that a lot of women in the tournament were not good looking enough to the WWE's usual standards.
And that pisses me off. It truly does. Because there's a lot of ugly-ass dudes in WWE, but they can wrestle. So why can't the women be less attractive than what you normally book? I mean, because typically you book models and, you know, Playboy bunnies and all that nonsense.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. And a lot of the competitors for the Mae Young Classic are solid workers. You have Mae Young. You have Candice LeRae. You have Marty Bell, formerly from TNA. You have Tessa Blanchard. You have Serena Deeb.
Mm-hmm.
You have Sarah Logan, formerly known as Crazy Mary Dobson.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a bunch of other women that were on this that are legit solid workers. You have the former Thea Trinidad from TNA under her new name Mercedes Martinez.
Right.
So this whole thing, you have solid talent,
mm-hmm.
and most of these women are good looking.
Mm-hmm.
They're solid looking women.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're like, oh, they don't match our standards of hot, and this is the thing, is a lot of people believe that the days of Maurice versus Kelly are done and over.
Well, it should be
because they're in a whole new different era.
You are in the era of pro wrestling now. Era of pro wrestling. And if you want to talk about they're not up to the standards of the women that you usually book,
mm-hmm.
that's body shaming. Now, my personal beliefs on body and weight and all that good stuff, but I still, however, believe body shaming is wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
Pro wrestling, as long as you can wrestle, because you got fat guys. Oh my gosh, you're the fastest fat guy. You can move like a little heavy cruiserweight. Oh my gosh, you're the best fat guy I've seen.
There's guys there's a guy out on the independents that's 400 and plus pounds doing moonsaults.
Right. However, women, you have to be a size 0.
Yeah.
Big titties, fat ass, pretty in the face, long hair,
long legs,
and
curves.
Yeah, but there's a lot of wrestlers out there that aren't like that, No,
absolutely. There are a lot of wrestlers out there that aren't like that, and it comes down to equality too. To that age old thing of why are men look different as women, and vice versa. It's like, well, okay, this is good enough for guys. Why can't it be good enough for the ladies?
Exactly.
And WWE being that top company, that company that everybody in this business strides to get to
mm-hmm.
in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're saying, oh, the women that are competing in this tournament to honor someone that paved the way for them
mm-hmm.
in Mae Young, oh, you're not good enough based on our standards. We don't believe you're good enough looking for our standards.
Well, Mae Young wasn't that attractive to me. In her heyday, she wasn't that attractive to me.
That's true.
She was the monster. She wasn't the fabulous, glamorous.
She wasn't
woman.
Fabulous Moolah. Fabulous Moolah was the glamorous one.
Exactly. She was the one that was out there whooping your butt.
Yeah. She wasn't out there to be like eye candy per se.
Right.
She was out there to whip ass and take names.
Mm-hmm.
But
no, I'm not saying she was ugly.
No.
But she wasn't as attractive as WWE is proclaiming that their women should be now.
And this is the thing is WWE has the days of supermodels being wrestlers are over.
Yep.
Like you don't have the Candice Michelles. You don't have the Kelly Kellys. You don't have the Maurices even. Not saying Maurice was a bad wrestler.
I'm like, they weren't even wrestlers, though.
They weren't. They were
good.
They were more. They were based more on, for eye candy look for the guys than what they could do in the ring. That's why most of their matches were anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes.
Yep.
And that was it. But, well, I'm excited. I'm excited to see this and see all the talent that's on this. It's gonna be interesting to see who wins, because right now, just based on the list, I'm going Candice LeRae or Mae Young.
Mae Young.
We know. Do you want to get in trouble?
Too late.
Too late?
Too late.
Too late? Okay. I'm just saying. All right.
Too late.
Too late? All right. Just making sure.
Too late.
Anyway, more WWE news as the WWE Network has finally canceled shows.
What'd they cancel?
They canceled, and both shows involving Renee Young. They canceled Renee Young's Unfiltered, which I enjoyed because it was a behind the scenes look with some of the wrestlers and interviews and everything.
Right.
But the one that I am very angry about is they canceled Talking Smack.
Talking Smack, when I watched it, was pretty good.
The Talking Smack dynamic between Renee Young and Daniel Bryan was great. And this is where I believe The Miz and others have come into their own as more into their character. Mm-hmm. Because Talking Smack was off the cuff. It wasn't a promo on television. It was just on the network. We're gonna sit here. It is. Go out, do it, and it worked.
It was a very passionate promo.
Oh, absolutely.
Because some of the stuff was a shoot, but they worked it into a promo, which you have to do.
They did.
Like when the Miz and Daniel Bryan were going back and forth about
Daniel Bryan's retirement.
Daniel Bryan's retirement and how you used to wrestle in churches and, VFW posts.
Yeah.
That was all real.
Yep, absolutely.
However, they had to turn it into a promo because, you're still, even though you're passionate, getting upset and getting angry, and you really do have some emotions about this topic, you still work for the company, still be professional. So it turned out to be a work promo shoot,
Well, Talking Smack's going to be like Talking Raw, and they're going to be after the pay-per-views, which is still cool. But from updated reports coming from ESPN, Sports Illustrated, and other reputable sources, is Vince McMahon, who's been present at WWE TV lately, or has been in and out as he's starting to get to a point where he's not there as much.
Okay.
But he still remains in complete control. Everything goes through Vince McMahon.
Yep.
It seems Triple H, Stephanie, and Kevin Dunn has been keeping him filled in on all of the details relating to Raw, and then Brian James, formerly known as Raw Dog, and Michael Hayes keeping him filled in on SmackDown. Vince was at the TV productions the previous week, and he was not happy with Talking Smack. Now, I think this comes on a very bad week because it was Renee Young and Shane McMahon, and had Vince seen the chemistry that Renee Young and Daniel Bryan has,
right,
and the energy they bring, and how much more awesome that show is between those two, between anybody else. Now, the show itself is just great, but that show becomes so much better when it's Renee Young and Daniel Bryan hosting, other than Renee Young and X person.
Right, because Daniel Bryan knows how to. Daniel Bryan's just a cool person to be around. So it just flows with Daniel Bryan.
Oh, absolutely.
Renee Young, being the commentator and the interviewer that she is, knows how to pull that from him.
Absolutely.
So it works out. The chemistry is good.
Not to mention the freedom that it gives everyone too.
Right.
The Miz sent out out a tweet. He said, "Rest in peace, Talking Smack. I love the freedom that the show gave us, and the way Renee Young hosted the show and everything."
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting to see what now replaces Talking Smack, or it's just gonna be something on the live stream that they run.
Could be TTRP.
Could be. That'd be awesome. TTRP at WWE Network. Hashtag listen in to us.
Hashtag book it.
Yeah. So the thing is Talking Smack's going to be good regardless, especially after the pay-per-views, because honestly, I'm going to say this, SmackDown's honestly being the better product for a while now. And a lot of people have just looked at me like when we talk, they're like, I enjoy SmackDown more than I do Raw. They're like, Raw's way too predictable.
Yeah. I don't like Raw because it's boring. And I say that because a lot of the things that they do on there is actually boring. Roman Reigns, boring right now. The Vice Squad, or the Vice Police.
Oh, Fashion Police.
Fashion Police. That can be funny at times. That can be boring at times. You know?
It depends.
It's hit or miss.
It depends. It depends on what Fandango and Tyler Breeze does. The Texas Ranger one that they did this past week on SmackDown was great, but not that great.
No, are they on? No, they are on SmackDown.
They're on SmackDown.
Oh, you know, I apologize. Then I apologize. They're not on Raw. They're on SmackDown. I'm trying to think of what else. What
Raw
does.
is Roman Reigns. Raw is Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt. Raw is Braun Strowman wanting to destroy everybody and anything, but first Roman Reigns.
That I love.
I love the fact certain dynamics of Raw are awesome. The fact that this past week on Raw, Brock Lesnar came out and him and Angle had that little tense reunited
right
once again. But the fact that Samoa Joe came out and was like, "Yo, I almost had your ass. Mm-hmm. You got lucky. You got lucky, but your holder is keeping you safe because he knows I'm going to be the guy to take you out."
Didn't Kurt Angle beat Brock Lesnar?
No, he did not.
He didn't?
He did not.
I thought he did.
Brock Lesnar defeated Kurt Angle for the championship at WrestleMania 19. And the Iron Man match that they had, I believe Lesnar won as well.
That sucks. All right.
As far as Angle goes, if anybody's from the WWE is listening, or if anybody knows anybody in the WWE that they can contact, please tell them, do not make the mystery person that Angle said, "I love you," Stephanie McMahon. It's too predictable. Everybody and their brother is expecting it to be Stephanie McMahon. Hell, at this point, I'll take Dixie Carter.
No, you won't.
Because it's everybody's expecting it to be Stephanie. But I will say this: I will give props to Sharmell, Booker T's wife, because Sharmell tweeted out a picture of her and Kurt Angle from the aforementioned storyline they had back in 2006-ish,
right?
Somewhere around that, and posted a picture of Jason Jordan underneath.
Awesome.
And I was like, that's fantastic. I'd be okay with it if it was Sharmell. I'm like, to continue that.
Yep. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. But right now, everybody is expecting it to be Stephanie McMahon.
Of course.
Because of the previous storyline many years ago, and everything. But at this point, Angle has been away from the WWE for too long. I understand he wanted to still wrestle. I understand injuries, whatever the case. Okay, but why go back to that storyline? Because everybody, because it's not going to be believable. Mm-hmm. As much as the people involved, and you want to work to a Kurt Angle Triple H match, Great. Awesome. You want to do it at Mania? Whatever. Okay? All the people involved, yes, they will do their damnedest to make it work. But everybody and their brothers knows Stephanie and Triple H are married. They have 3 daughters. They're good. They're like pretty much the next in line for the company.
Right.
So no matter what storyline you try to spin between if Stephanie is this mystery person that Angle said I love you to on the phone, everybody is going to, excuse my language, completely fucking shit on it.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to see.
We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to. But I'm just saying.
Like how I set you up there, but I was gonna go into in-depth conversation.
I thought you were for a minute.
Not at all.
But all right, to finish off here, we're gonna flip companies.
Wait, no, not yet.
Not yet. What do you got?
So, if you pre-order WWE 2K18,
yes,
you get Kurt Angle.
Yes, because the storyline, the early reports from IGN and other gaming sites, has the career mode, per se, is Seth Rollins has set fire and destruction and hellfire ablaze to the WWE warehouse.
Yeah, warehouse, Hall of Fame, whatever, yeah.
Hall of Fame warehouse. And Kurt Angle is is going to be doing everything in his power to find out the culprit. Now, if Kurt Angle gets clearance and for his health and everything to at least do a match or two, Kurt Angle versus Seth Rollins would probably be phenomenal. To coming off this game.
It would be. However, I wasn't going there.
You weren't?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not at all.
Well,
thank you for taking my story and just completely going left field with it. But I mean, what you said was great, though. Don't get me wrong. My thing is 2K WWE 18.
Yes.
I flipped it around. But anyway, what if I told you can win a copy?
Win a copy? Interesting.
What if I said that? For the system of your choosing.
Interesting.
The day that it comes out.
Oh, we're doing contests now?
We may be. It all depends on how much. It all depends on how much interest I get.
Okay.
From my say it.
All right.
We'll post it on the Facebook page.
Of course.
See what kind of interest
Twitter
we get.
and all that.
There may be, I may know somebody who will be running a WWE 2K17 tournament.
Ooh.
Winner take all.
Very nice.
Cash prize.
Oh, even better.
And a copy of WWE 2K18.
Oh, wow. Totally free. You do not have to pay your $59.99 plus tax.
Correct. There may be an entrance fee for the tournament.
Of course. Most tournaments have entrance fees.
Yep. Which would be minimal. Minimal.
Compared to buying the game outright.
And the cash prize.
Yes. So you're essentially making money.
Exactly. Stay tuned.
Interest.
Like I said, show me some interest.
We'll post it on Facebook, Twitter.
On the Twitter machine. And we'll see.
Interesting. Contests are always fun.
Yeah.
So, moving companies to Global Force Wrestling and the saga that is the Broken Universe. Well, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, back in the WWE, made their returns at WrestleMania, have been in a battle with Global Force Wrestling and the parent company Anthem Sports for the rights to the Broken Universe. Well, from many reports, they have come to numerous agreements. Some of the main agreement that was decided upon or has been reported was Global Force and Anthem was going to receive a sizable monetary payment for the rights.
Right.
And also there was going to be a cease and desist order to a degree between the parties to not talk disparagingly about each other. And if one does, for the first offense, it was $1,000 fine, and afterwards it was going to be $5,000 for any other after that first time. So, a lot of money at stake here.
A lot of money there.
Well, from what it's been reported from Matt Hardy's camp, is the agreements were agreed upon, but they were waiting for the CEO of Anthem Sports, Ed Norham, to sign off on it, and he is yet to sign off on it.
He's not going to sign off on it.
Mainly because what it's looked at is the broken universe. They can still make money off of it in DVDs and merchandise and so on and so forth by owning the rights. So what it comes down to is money. Now, Anthem and GFW has stated numerous times that the WWE has no interest in the broken property.
They're lying.
Which is lies.
Is complete lies.
Because there's been main reports that they have been setting up both Hardy Boys for singles runs because they knew the Attitude Era Hardys could only go so far.
Right.
That could only go so far before it ran its course.
Of course, and I think it's starting to run its course now. You already gave them the titles.
Yeah,
they already lost the titles.
They lost the 30-minute Iron Man match at the pay-per-view. They had the rematch and lost, or they had another match and they essentially got destroyed. They got beat by the Anderson and Gallows, and then my tag team awesomeness, the Revival, came out and just obliterated them. Like, I love the Revival, I do. I'm glad they're back. And they came out and obliterated the Hardys. Like, just straight destroyed them.
Well, I mean, if you love them so much, Patsy, why don't you marry him?
Listen, I got someone else, okay? But this is the thing, it seems like the tag team division on Raw is starting to heat up again.
Yep.
And
the Hardys did exactly what they came to do.
And exactly. So now it's time to move them apart. Maybe put one on SmackDown, have one on Sam Raw, and put them in that middle weight class on the fringe of being in the main event picture.
Right.
Again. Because SmackDown has done that with AJ Styles and Kevin Owens. And speaking of AJ Styles, congrats on US title win.
Oh, he beat Kevin Owens?
He beat Kevin Owens at a house show at Madison Square Garden.
Did it count?
It counted. AJ Styles is the US champion. The reason that it was done, though, is AJ Styles has a DVD coming out, and they wanted to have a more recent, memorable championship win for AJ Styles because it had been 9 months since he held the WWE championship.
Right.
And also, they're also resetting Kevin Owens. Because with Rusev coming back and Jinder Mahal doing what Jinder Mahal is doing with the whole anti-American gimmick, with Jinder Mahal being for India.
Are they really going to do another nation's gimmick? If they do it right, it would work.
I don't know. Right now, they felt like they had too many people running the anti-American
The un-Americans.
But with Jinder being a heel and portraying his anti-American Indian heritage, and Rusev portraying his Russian Bulgarian heritage, they felt Kevin Owens, who's a Canadian, who's running on the new face of America, kind of anti-sentiment was too much. So Kevin Owens is going to be doing something else. What Kevin Owens is going to be doing, I don't know. Honestly, I hope Kevin Owens goes back to being Kevin Owens, the prize fighter. I'm just going to whip your ass and call it a day. Like when he first came in.
Yeah.
Because that's what Kevin Owens does, and that's what Kevin Owens is best at.
That's what Kevin Owens do.
Yeah.
What you're saying.
So, but that's going to be it for us. That's
it? That's how you're going to end the show?
No, I'm going to let you end it, because you usually end it. Because you have a saying that you got mad at for me doing after you told me I could.
Because it didn't sound like me.
Well, it wasn't you.
And that's the problem.
Well, here you go. It's your floor.
I guess.
You're over here playing another stupid mobile game.
I am. And that's the name of the game, too. So he's not talking about my game. That's the name of the game. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. TTRP, Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast. For Cyclone Jones, Pat G, the G stands for Gangster. You've been listening to wrestling and independent wrestling and professional wrestling. Wrestling from all over the world.
Yes. And now it's time for Game of Thrones.
No. It's time for power.
Well, the Game of Thrones has power because there's a lady with dragons and she's going to set fire in the blaze.
No, the name of the show is Power. Yeah.
Well, it's time for Game of Thrones. You have power.
Yeah,
I have
power.
Thrones.
Yeah, I have power. So you got the white person thing, where it's dragons and magic, and I got the black person.
There's no magic. There's just dragons and fire and death.
Oh, well, I got the black person thing, where it's gang and drugs and
I do watch Power. Power is a very entertaining show
and all that good stuff. So you go watch your white stuff, and I'll go watch my black stuff.
Okay. That's how we're going to end it? We're going to end it with race?
We're going to end it with a race.
We're going to totally end it with race?
No, we're not going to end it with race.
That's horrible.
Let's end it with WWE 2K18 tournament.
Yes.
Coming up soon.
More details to follow.
More details to follow. You can win a copy of WWE 2K18 WWE 2K18 for free.
By entering a WWE 2K17 tournament.
Yep, on the system of your choosing. The tournament will be on the system of the person that's running the tournament's choosing.
PS4, Xbox One.
Yep. So we'll definitely look into that and see,
And trust.
I mean, that's a win-win right there.
It is.
But ladies and gentlemen, that's the show. Like I said again, for Pat G, the G stands for Gangster, I am Cyclone Jones. We are out of here. Cyclone!
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.